Your Royal Highnesses, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My friend Gunil, yesterday opening the forum, talked about optimism and asked us to be optimistic. I am optimistic, and I want to share with you the reason behind my optimism. And today is a day where we have heard from Singapore that the earth is for peace and love. So we can. I want just to share with you good news. Caleb introduced us with many tools for the future of food. I don't want to talk about the tools, but I want to talk about the generation food that are the millennials. And this is the reason why I'm so optimistic. I would like to start with an year, 2015. We will remember that year for many reasons. What happened? In Milano, we hosted the World Expo. The first time ever, the entire world came together to talk about the food, the future of food. Feeding the planet, energy for life was the theme. In New York, the United Nations approved the SDGs and in September. And in Paris, in December, the Paris Agreement was signed. All these events had a common thing, a common word: sustainability. I think that year, 2015, will be remembered as a milestone in the history. Everything started to change at that time because we realized that we don't have a planet B.
We end up wasting millions of dollars in edible food every year, and that bad habit is affecting food security right around the globe.
Americans throw away enough food every year to fill 730 football stadiums.
On a global scale, animal husbandry and feed production require over 70% of the agricultural land area.
8 million metric tons of plastic trash enters the sea from land every year.
No nation, whether it's large or small, rich or poor, will be immune from the impacts of climate change.
A lot of the environmental problems in China are very closely linked to our energy consumption.
We all have so little to eat because there was no harvest this season. Everyone is suffering.
A bulldozer is ripping out a third of Sean Stevenson's orange trees. There's just not enough water to keep everything alive.
So there are no days in which we don't see videos like this on the media, on the social networks, etc. And thanks to this, now we know what is going to happen to our planet, to our future. The knowledge increased, but also people are much more aware about these issues. And we also have to thank the technology because we start sharing our thoughts and our concerns. So if we put together the knowledge, the awareness, and the sharing, we can create a positive circle and we can start to change. But let's go in this short journey to talk about the millennials. So what are millennials looking for? Sustainability, transparency, ethics, and trust. But who's saying that? First, we have to remember that this is the first generation ever that use to communicate their values, use food to communicate their values, and they build communities. We know that thanks to social network, we share a lot contents. Food is one of the most shared. Sometimes we talk about food porn. I don't know if I can use this word early in the morning, but let's see something about these data. Most of them come from a survey made by the World Economic Forum in 2015 involving 30,000 people from 180 countries. So 19% of the young people agree or strongly agree that humans are responsible for climate change. This is very, very important. In fact, climate change is the most critical issue for young generation and for millennials. And I think that this is a very good news, because due to that, they take the decision where they used to, they used to act connecting to this issue. 72% says that it's very important for them to make an impact, and they want to change the world. This is another very good news. And for the first time ever, when they are looking for a job after the salarium, the second choice is the opportunity to find a company who has a purpose. So this is very important. It has never happened before. Healthy for millennials doesn't just mean not sick. It's a commitment to eat right. Natural, organic, locally sourced, and sustainable. But what is very important to know is that they are looking for a trust with the food manufacturers. So let's go to see who are they. 50% of the global population is under 30. And millennials right now are 1/3 of the global population. Since the last few months, millennials are the biggest workforce than any other generation. If we take a look in the United States, they are the biggest generation in that country in the entire history. In 2017, they spent $100 billion just for food. And they will become the wealthiest generation, because 41 trillion will be passed on to them over the next 3 decades. And they are start also to become a policy maker and leaders. So their consumer choices matter. But there are other things related to the millennials. They are a startup generation, and this is very important. I'm a startupper. In my 20s, I founded one of the first e-commerce startup in Italy. Now, that for me was an opportunity. Now is a choice. If I don't find something, if this generation don't find a service, a product, or what is looking for, they create it. This is the difference. You don't give it to me, I will do it. So they were born in the digital era, and so they have completely different approaches, like my generation or the generation before. And thanks to the technology, they found the way to democratize the food system and create transparency through the whole value chain. Through the whole value chain. But think about the using of a blockchain in the food system. So this is another great opportunity that technology is giving to us, and it's a new reason because the food system will change. Remember, they are looking for trust. Blockchain will help them to have the trust. Hey, Marco, do you have any other good news? Thanks for asking. Yes, I have. And I want to introduce you this good news through this video.
Our world is ever changing, and the ways of yesterday will not solve the problems of tomorrow.
Because this is the only world we have. the world that my generation and the generations after will inherit.
We are living in an era where technology is the modern architecture of today's society.
Millennials are creators, entrepreneurs, and problem solvers.
I believe that we can steer our communities towards a more productive and innovative future.
These guys are from Generation Z. So this is the good news. I've never heard before a girl or a boy from in very 16, 15, thinking about the future generation. I think that they represent really the future in a good way. And Selo Drone, she's from Ireland. I invited her to Seeds&Chips 2 years ago. And after she saw a documentary with her father, she was shocked about the amount of sugar inside a can of a drink. And she asked her father to create an app. And they did that, and thanks to this app, you can scan a barcode and seeing the amount of sugar inside this drink. And she did that when she was 12. Abby has a company. She founded a company 2 years ago, and now her products are selling over 300 stores across the USA. And what about Priya? Priya has been, she's a leader at the age of 18, and she's creating a marketplace to fight waste of food. So I think that these are very, very good news, not only because the millennials will help to change and to fix the food system, but also because I think that this generation will make a huge impact. Before closing, I would like just to remind that today we have the honor to have one man is a friend of mine, and his name is Sam Cass. He is known as the former White Chef at the White House. I would like to thank you formally him, officially. I've never done it before, because Sam is, as Michelle Obama said, is the mind behind the project they started at the White House with the kitchen garden, and the dialogue they started to talk about the future of food and nutrition. So the job Sam did was not just cooking good meals at the White House. He started a very important dialogue at the beginning of Obama's administration. And so I would like to thank him personally, because he started giving us hope and good news with his job. And thank you very much to everybody.